What's going on, guys? Danny or Wi-Fi Astronaut back here again today with a special guest, Flips4Miles. How you doing today, Miles?
Good. First special guest on the channel, if I'm not mistaken. It's a great honor.
Correct. First guest on the channel. We're just gonna kind of go overview, talk about your journey, going from selling sneakers out of the parents' house to now being very successful on Amazon OA. Social media, all that stuff. So how you doing today, Miles?
Yeah, never better. Got a lot of good projects going on. So excited to chop it up a little bit, talk some OA, talk some social media, maybe all that.
Sweet. So let's take it back, and I'll probably format this similar to the Buy Box Bandits podcast, which you all should check out. But just take us back to the very start. What were the first flips before Flips4Miles was a thing? What were the first flips you were doing, and where did you find out about it?
Yeah, dating back to 2011 or so, I've been transacting Legos on the internet, like trading with people, different things, like making friends through online based communities. So now like a lot of the reselling stuff comes natural to me, and that like meeting people online, learning online communities and all that. Like I've been doing it, I guess, for over 10 years at this point. Circa around 2014, dude from Legos was like, dude, like I have all these nice shoes. I'm reselling shoes to be able to buy them. He got me going with it, added me to some Facebook groups, stole like $500 from me, but either way, ended up being a very positive influence on what I had going on. And then eventually, a couple of years later, transitioned from selling on Facebook groups and eBay a little bit, started using these apps called Goat and StockX, which allowed one, they middleman every transaction and authenticate it, so it's impossible to get scammed, which is completely different than Facebook groups, PayPal, and not really knowing what's fake and what isn't, having to keep up with all that stuff. And then about a year and a half later, learned about Amazon, didn't take action for about 6 months, started in 2019 doing books, did that semi-successfully, but nothing that could be full-time, and then kind of
Oh,
quit
wait,
that for like
pause,
a
pause
year.
on the books real quick.
Yeah.
Talk about the flip challenges, because this is when I first started seeing your social medias pop up on my feed, is when you were doing, I think it was the 1,000 book
2000,
challenge in a, it was two,
2000,
was
yeah,
it in a
August
month? 2,000 books in a
2019.
month, right?
Oh, gee, yeah. And I mean, my profit criteria was so low, like I had no idea what I was doing. But I thought books were the only thing that could be sold really, because everything else was gated. No one knew how to get
And so
ungated.
what were you doing? You were driving around to explain that. What
Thrift
were you doing with
stores,
the flip challenge?
library sales, Scout IQ, scanning it. If it gives the cha-ching, it's good. If it dings it, keep it moving. Bluetooth scanner, headphones in,
Were
scan.
you using the default triggers on Scout IQ?
No, well, probably at the start, and then I built out my own. Yeah, I
Right.
was Team Scowley for a while.
I don't
No,
think I was
sorry.
ever on Scoutly. I was always Scout IQ database version.
Yeah, Scout IQ. I never even had database. I was a
Oh,
broke
dude.
boy.
You had to have the database one, because when you would be in some of these library sales, you could be in like the
No
basements of
Wi-Fi.
these places.
Yeah,
There's
no
no
Wi-Fi.
internet. Dude, yeah, that
No Wi-Fi astronaut.
I specifically remember one time we were down there, and I guess like half the people didn't have the database version of Scout IQ. So they all like ran back upstairs at the beginning of this library sale to get it, download it, and then come back.
Damn, hate to see that.
Yeah, it was funny. So, all right. So you did, so you went from the books, and then when did you start transitioning into online arbitrage?
I kind of just quit books for all of, or quit Amazon for all of 2020, basically. And then February, it's when people started talking about Ungates a little more, or they had been talking previous and I'd seen it a little bit, but I hadn't actually tried it. So I was like, this social media marketing agency thing isn't working. Let me try to do these Ungates. It worked. Started getting the ball rolling. I was still selling shoes at the time, so it was easy to just cross list stuff. And then one thing led to another. We kind of built out a little mastermind, which is now known as the Buy Box Bandit podcast and some other stuff. And then just here now, kind of been just chopping away at the same thing for about a year. Stuff's clicking a little bit. Hopefully just continue that up and ride that up, make a bunch of money, invest it, and do whatever. Maybe keep doing Amazon. Who knows?
So it sounds like an important thing. So you did the social media marketing for like 2020, and I mean, from what I know from it worked. It just wasn't for you, right?
Yeah, well, I not like worked, not like maybe enough to live off of, but I was also doing like my personal brand and
Right.
reselling. So it combined, it was enough, but like wasn't a happy, like I was dreading doing some stuff.
Right. You didn't want to be calling these, what was it, beauty salons?
Yeah, and like everyone's broke, so it's so hard to say, it's so hard to help people that, won't call their leads, won't respond
Right.
to comments, won't
Right.
talk on video. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
that just shows like with anything, the bar is very low to be well if you're willing to commit to stuff.
Mhm. So, I mean, it sounds like it's important that you at least like you're trying things, right? Whether it was
Yeah, that's the
the
biggest thing with
Legos,
any, yeah.
shoes, Amazon, like you're just trying different things in the reselling space.
Yeah, like a lot of the people watching this probably they haven't gone ahead and started. They're considering it. You should go ahead and try it because even if this doesn't end up being right for you, you'll find what is right for you quicker, the quicker you take action and iterate.
Yeah, and especially now, like the only thing that doesn't have a free trial is the Amazon account, which you
And it
even
kind of
yeah.
does because you only get charged when you start sending in stuff, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if you get charged right away or not. But it's a
I'm pretty
it's
sure you,
$40.
and
I
it's
know you get
it's
charged
like
once
you
it gets
actually
approved.
have to have it to do Amazon. So it's
Yeah,
just necessary. Yeah.
but everything else on Amazon, there's Inventory
Free
Lab free
trial.
trial, Scout IQ free trial,
Yeah.
Keepa does not have a free trial, I don't think.
Yeah,
But
but Keepa you should have either way. And
Keepa's
Keepa
20
is even
bucks,
cheaper.
give or
Yeah.
take on the exchange rate for the month. Okay, so you got into OA and you're doing social media at the same time. Where and when did OA start to click for you and you started really finding success in it?
It was kind of immediately in terms of click, like let's call it click, like 5 to 10 grand profit a month. Like it was pretty immediately because I'd been reselling for a while, so I understood coupon codes, getting stuff in, shipping it out, and I knew Amazon too because I had been doing books for a while, probably like a year prior. So it was pretty immediate. I mean, I started doing like 30, 40K sales a month, like within like 2 weeks of starting, really.
And it was actually a year ago now, right?
It was,
When you
yeah,
started
just about a
doing
year ago. Yeah,
heavy
right
OA.
around this. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for the people that don't know, Miles and I went to high school together, and then we had been in touch for kind of.
2019 fall, we had been in touch, and then a
Yeah.
little bit in 2020, and we kind of went our separate ways. You were trying the real estate shit. I was trying to
Correct.
do a bunch of stuff that wasn't working, but kind of
But
found our
Amazon
way
has
back.
brought us back together.
Found our
It
way
was a
back
little bit
to
over a year ago now. Amazon brought us back together.
Yep.
Uh,
So like my tactical arbitrage is up like tomorrow is the expiration, the 1 year key.
you bought a 1 year key of TA.
No, you're at your AWS or the API integration. You're
So
getting the same emails. You probably just haven't done anything about them.
yeah, I have them go to a different email address, so I don't see them.
Oh,
But yeah,
even better. Yeah.
yeah. All right, cool. So what were some of the first flip products like a year ago now that you were doing OA that you started
All
finding
shoes,
success with?
really. Yeah. All
Shoes?
shoes at the beginning. Cause that's what I knew how to do. Like, and some people are beauty enthusiasts. Like it's gonna be a lot easier and more fun probably for you to dig around for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a common theme that I see between not every person, but some people is they find a lot of their success in Amazon in things they're already interested in. So like obviously for me it was electronics, it was like shoes. It's just things that people already know, like the different SKUs and the different nuances of it. They
And
see that
brands,
success.
yeah,
Yeah.
where to buy them, all that.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're doing the shoes a year ago. What are you kind of up to, summertime or fast forward to now? What is kind of the Flips4Miles flipping on Amazon strategy
Yeah,
right
same
now?
thing, just a little more expansion, like toys, clothing, apparel, shoes, maybe switching to some other soon, but you can really go deep in certain stuff. Like a lot of people try to diversify product categories, product types, like can make a lot of money on single ASINs. And especially if you have a competitive advantage, like sales tax, or it's a wholesale account, others can't get exclusive access, all that, you really have to exploit those advantages as much as possible.
So here's something that I mean, I don't really think I talk about it a lot online, but I think I have on the podcast. But I like to talk about like you have to build out your own edges, whether that's a no sales tax state or how you're getting it prepped. Every seller needs to have their own kind of an edge. So like for me with wholesale, my edge right now is just being able to get on the phone with a sales rep and talk to them and then negotiate down prices. That's really my edge right now. What is your edge when it comes to OA? And that could be like experience. I mean, it could be secret
Yeah,
coupons. Like,
experience from the shoe world, knowing how to find coupon codes for sites that have them. And no sales tax is great too. And then the availability of capital, and then the network of knowing a lot of people that like can help out. You bounce ideas off of, and that's just not just for Amazon at all. It's for like a lot of like the personal brand stuff too. But the big thing, like you can control someone, you can't control, like you can control making friends with other Amazon sellers. You can actively put effort into it and good things will happen. The sales tax stuff, it's a little harder. Obviously, you could work with prep center and a no sales tax state, all that. But some are built in, some you have to build yourself. But if you can build up a few, you can do really well.
Right. So talk a little bit about your processes, whether that's VAs or, whatever. How are you structuring kind of the sourcing for?
Yeah. So when I started out, it was a lot of heavy base tactical arbitrage bolo groups. All that now I kind of learned to do it on my own, mostly just keep a seller amp, keep to see charts, seller amp to see like the profit calculator really easily. And so just a lot of digging, some storefront stalking, manually going through websites. And then when you've been going for a while, you build out replan. So it's a lot easier to spend a lot of money when when you're just repurchasing stuff that you already know is good.
Awesome. Are you using VAs?
Nope. Just
Nope.
for content, like
Right.
just for like helping with content.
Right. And then what are you doing about capital? How are you sourcing capital?
Yeah, so everyone has a different risk tolerance. I want to, the way I see it is like I can either choose to like take on risk, use credit, and then probably have money, or like the other option is definitely not have money, definitely not make money. You know what I mean? So being that the way I am now, like I've streams of income that aren't dependent on Amazon, which I work really hard to, keep good and everything. So I'll use credit definitely. You guys go check out Danny's credit video he made. I helped him with the title and everything. He's a monster of knowledge on that kind of stuff. So that's really helpful. Yeah. And then also too, like, even if you're not going to like leverage out wise, you can just spend through the credit card and get 2% cash back and then just immediately pay it off and cycle that through, which is cool as well.
If you were to recommend one credit card to someone right now,
Capital One Spark Business.
and
2% cash back unlimited. That's pretty much it, and like big limits. But the 2% cash back is better benefits than any other card anyway.
Right.
Forget the.
Yeah, for me right now, it's just between the Amex and that Spark card. And I mean, I don't have the Spark card yet. I'm going to get it after my Chase card comes in. But I would only say Amex for beginning, just because I don't know how Spark does with their limits. And I know how Amex is.
Really
Amex increases your limit so aggressively as long as you're paying off on time, which is a good reminder for me to check my American Express bill because I think it's due soon. You have your Amex payments on auto?
Oh, no. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't have.
Can't have them on auto. Yeah.
It's bit me before.
The way cash flow works with Amazon, it's like not smart to have. It's pretty much, it's not impossible, but you have to be very cash heavy too if you want to be able to have auto and everything.
Yeah. Well, once it gets rolling, you're good. But then like the thing is, if you scale at the same pace, like, which is hard. Like it's hard to scale.
It's impossible.
But like, let's say you do, you're always going to be stuck in that limbo of having like barely enough money.
If Amazon's your only mainstream income.
But it's a good limbo though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like the past 2 months for me. So like really from like March until December, I was pretty aggressively scaling electronics. So I was like constantly without money or like just enough to pay Amex. And then recently, January and February, a lot of orders have just been back ordered until March and April. So I was actually able to recoup like all of my money from the past year and finally get it like back into my Chase account, which is nice, cool to see and will help me, I think, with my Premier Ink card, which hopefully I should hear back soon on. So Miles, if you had to give any tips, any final tips here or thoughts for the people to get started on Amazon or on social media, we didn't really touch on that much, but we can.
We can do another video.
But what are some final tips here for people getting started?
Yeah, so we kind of got into the weeds a little bit, talking advanced stuff like credit, cash back, sourcing methods, and all that. Your main priority, if you're looking to get started, is just getting sales. Even if that's some books, some old items you have, even merch filling, you want to get that proof of concept as quick as possible, which, you can learn all day, you can watch videos all day, but nothing's going to make you money besides taking action. So go ahead and get started, get your seller account, and just try it out, right? Like I said, this might not be for you, but the quicker you figure that out, the quicker you can get on to trying another thing, or this might end up working. And also, it's going to take a while to make a lot of money, just the way cash flow works. And just selling on Amazon's a skill, just like anything else. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a long time to get good at a sport, to get good at writing. It'll be the same way with this kind of stuff. So don't just quit after 3 weeks if you're not making $5,000 a month.
Awesome. Awesome. And Flips4Miles, as you always say, where can the people find you on the socials?
Yes, sir. So it's Flips4Miles. It says Flips 5 miles here, but it's Flips 4 miles.
Inflation is crazy.
And Danny will have that my Instagram, my Twitter, my Discord, course, YouTube, all that will be linked below. So y'all go check that out as well.
All right. Thank you, Miles.